Well, yeah, they're feeding on the people's fear. They're fear mongering as a way to get 70% of the population on board with some shit that's going to ruin the whole world. You know what I mean?
Democrats are going to ruin us.
Well, he's a Republican and he's trying to implement stuff that I don't agree with.
Well, what's one or two things you don't agree with, and go with them Democrats that want to turn us into a socialist country. They're going to take our guns and do a Schindler's List on us.
I know, right?
So who else you got to go for?
Who was that? Beto O'Rourke wants to do a mandatory buyback policy?
Yeah.
I didn't buy him from you. How the hell was it a buyback if I didn't buy it from you? Yeah, I didn't, dude. I bought it from Gander Mountain. I didn't buy it from the government. You want to say something cool? Say something cool.
Say something cool.
Like Trump 2020, second term.
Yeah, and like I'm a Trumpster.
So, what does he do that you really agree with?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything. He has done so much for this country in a short period of time. You can't even start to think of all the things he has done. He has made America great already, and he wants to continue to do that. People are fully employed, more people than ever. He has given a lot of people money on the stock market. He is trying very hard to make areas safer, and he's got the right attitude. I know he's not a politician. That's one of the problems for the Democrats. But he's a businessman. He knows how to run a business, and he's got it all together.
Now, there's one thing he's doing I don't agree with. I've been talking about it today. Is, facial recognition technology?
Yes.
He's trying to implement that into your Second Amendment right as a way to restrict gun ownership because of all these mass shootings. It's one of his cabinet's solutions to that problem. And I don't think that that's a good solution because they're just using that as a way to get, like 50% of the population hates guns.
Yes.
And then in the Republicans that are polled, about half of them also want something done. So it's a way to implement this really totalitarian kind of dystopian stuff into it and just slide it under you and just make you accept it because it's such a hot button issue. So I don't agree with his solution to that problem.
Well, I think you have to work among people. You have to try things. You have to get people together in what they're doing. And what the public doesn't seem to understand is that gun laws and gun regulations are there. Most of what's happening today, these guys are not going to Joe's gun shop and buying guns. Most of these guns are either stolen, they're handed back and forth among gang types. They're not buying guns legitimately. If you look at the
gun violence and take gangs out of it,
yes,
like 70% of the gun violence is gone. Easy. Because I have a friend from Wales, and they're pretty socialistic over there, right? So he hates guns. So every time we have an argument about guns, I always go, now take out gang statistics, and it's less than stabbings, basically. There's more stabbings than there are shootings.
True, but then why is 20 minutes of every news forecast all about who shot who?
Because they're trying to get rid of your guns. Clearly. And it's just, they also said...
It's open for, I think it's open for discussion.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not to...
I think that maybe something needs to be done, but it's not as drastic as implementing that facial recognition stuff that they have in China, where your whole social credit score determines whether you can buy a train ticket or a house, whether you can afford groceries.
True.
And then where does it stop? Because you posted something on Facebook that Bernie Sanders wouldn't agree with.
Right.
That now you don't get to eat for a week.
True.
It's completely asinine.
But I think there's a starting point, and maybe he's starting at the toughest point because he knows people are going to object, and then he can slowly work down to a point where everybody agrees. I mean, he can't start down there and go up with anything like this. So perhaps what he is talking about is starting here, and then we'll go down a few steps and we'll talk back and forth and find out where we're going.
He's starting at the absolute worst possible point, I think, of you're always going to be monitored, we're always going to watch you. It's like Big Brother's watching.
But by the same token, the people who have legitimate guns or rifles or whatever don't care. They're not worried about it. They know they are legit.
Oh yeah.
So they're fine. It's the
I have a
guys
legit
out
gun,
there that
but-
should. Well, yes, I mean,
Of course I do.
most people, of course.
Yeah.
And so you really don't care because they can look you up and down wherever they want.
I do care. I've actually been. When I was 20, I'm 25 now. I was having mental health issues. I got very depressed. I was diagnosed bipolar.
Okay.
I'm off meds now, living a lot healthier, a lot happier. I've even bought a gun.
Okay.
So I'm one of the people who won't be allowed to get a gun later in my life when things are going well,
yes.
because something was not going well for me when I was 19 and 20.
Okay.
So for me, it's a little more important because now I can't defend myself because I got depressed when I was 20.
Right.
So I don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that, and I do think things have to be looked at more closely than that. Saying something happened to you 5 years ago, oh, now you can't get a gun. No, you may have to go through a very strict process to make sure that everything is legit, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't at all.
It's not letting me defend myself to the fullest ability that our Constitution allows me to. Because, again, like I said, I got depressed when I was 20.
Right.
It's like, so...
But why did you buy a weapon? Why did you buy a gun?
Home defense. Home defense. I mean, just like to blow shit up. You know what I mean? It's not to go rob people. It's not to go steal. You know, it's to be a well-regulated militia. It's also because I also don't like our police force being able to have a gun, and me not having, you know, the
they
same
go, yeah,
rights
but they go
as-
through a great deal of training and preparation
Yeah,
and
but
everything else. So.
That's something that could kill me, just because, you know, let's say some sort of apocalypse.
Only if you put yourself in a
situa-
position
well,
that calls for that.
Let's say some sort of race riot, like Los Angeles starts happening, and society breaks down.
Okay.
And, you know, cops might want all the water for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And law and order breaks down, they start not acting so police-like, because everybody's not acting police-like, right?
Okay.
Now I don't have a gun, and if it goes past 3 days, I just, you know, I'm so famished because I haven't drinking water in 3 days that I die.
Okay. I don't
You know
think
what I
it's
mean?
quite that cut and dry.
It's not going to be that cut and dry, but it's still, people need to be able to see when the police are not acting accordingly.
What about the
'Cause that
police in
happens.
New York? Okay, but what about the police in New York who just got dumped with water and ice buckets and
Oh, they should beat the
everything
hell out
else?
of those
I mean, well,
I don't, because you can't just assault the police, right?
right.
I'm harder on crime. Like, I don't think that they should be shot, but if they just whipped out a club and started beating these people, I wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
They asked for it.
Okay, I have to go get
Okay.
some air conditioning.
Want to say something cool?
Yeah.
Want to say something cool? Say something cool about Trump.
Huh?
Say something cool about Trump.
Trump is the coolest.
He is the coolest.
He is the coolest.
He is.
Yes, he is.
He's doing a good job.
Doing a good job.
Doing a great job.
Yeah, everybody else got their problems, he do too, but he getting shit done. He's getting shit done.
I can move past something that he did a decade ago.
Yeah, man. Hell,
You did that a decade
some
ago?
of the shit I did 20 and 30 years ago, man, I shouldn't even be here.
I'm still young enough
I
that
forgave me for myself, so I give somebody else for what they do.
I still fuck up.
Still fuck up.
And you should.
Yeah.
If you don't fuck
We
up,
don't fuck up.
you're not living. If you don't
But
fuck
you're
up.
still getting something fucking done. He's getting something done, so that's the good part about it. He's getting some shit done.
He's getting a lot done. Did you hear about what he's doing with the Second Amendment that I might not agree with, though?
Why?
Facial recognition technology to make sure that you can't get a gun or it's harder for you to get a gun.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I was just in Hong Kong, right? Not only is it your face, it's your shoes.
Oh, yeah?
They'll find you anyway.
Yeah.
They'll connect you with your cross.
Yeah,
They'll connect you with your cell phone.
Wow, that's smart.
I saw the protesters changing shoes mid-protest. Oh yeah, I got that on footage. I was like, why are they doing that? Somebody later told me, it's the recognition technology.
Oh, yeah. That's doing a little too much.
And they're sliding it in because once they implement it onto that one thing, it's going to be
It's
everything.
kind
Got
of
your
like
Trump
hitting that,
2020 signature has
It's
today.
the gateway to being there. Hold that, baby.
So we got to let him know what his supporters think about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's sort of one
Which
of
one
my.
is he going to ask us?
Well,
That's the thing.
everybody
One's
ain't
not going
perfect
to
like you
Trump.
say so.
Trump's going to do what he wants to, and it's either you deal with it or you don't. hopefully he'll listen to and support us. I doubt it if he really will, but that's one thing I don't agree with.
I almost feel like that's the government behind him, trying to implement that. Into the
Nice
future.
talking to you,
Yeah,
man.
nice talking to you. Because it's
Okay,
because that's been what the government's wanted, is just like stuff like that. It's just more control.
But
you know what I mean?
that's why I love Trump, because he's telling the government secrets. That's why they are so mad that man is in office. For years, we know that the government's always been corrupted, but we can never prove it. Because they cover it up so well.
Yeah.
Trump telling all that, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every minute of it. Loving it, loving it, loving it.
So
And that man, and I'm telling you, by him telling the truth, and just like this China situation, I could never figure that out. Why the hell are we paying them? And then this is another thing that tripped me out. Why every time, like China, for instance, they getting ready to go through something, why the hell do we got to go over there and put our 2 cents into it? It has nothing to do with us, but somebody ready to bomb us, don't nobody come to our aid whatsoever. So Trump, another 4 years, here we go.
it was growing up. I grew up. I was in school, high school, middle school, whatever. It was like the liberal kids there were like, oh, we help people too much. Nowadays they're going, we're not helping enough. And it's like, which is
Trump
it?
2020 signature hats. We got your safari hats and flags today.
You know, like,
Alright.
which is it? Do we help too much or not enough? There's no pleasing some people.
Goddamn
You know what I mean?
And with the kids situation, the parents need to take the kids back. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Get into their business. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
brought
you
your-
can cut out a lot of stuff.
You brought your kid into this situation. It's not our fault. It's the same thing. I don't know if you saw somebody say, you know, it's the same as when they put kids into foster care because the parents go to prison. It's the same thing.
Get your Trump 2020 signature hats today. We got flags. We got safari hats. Keep you nice and cool today.
I'll let you sell.
Trump 2020. Okay, sweetheart, you take care.